It's boning biggie, biggie. It's boning biggie, biggie. It's boning biggie, biggie. It's boning biggie, biggie. Ride, let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Get high, get high, get high. Come on, let's ride, let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Get high, get high. This is a late high. It's boning biggie, biggie. 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 It's boning biggie, biggie.
Armed and dangerous, ain't too many can bang with us. Straight up, we no angel dust. Label us notorious. Thug ass niggas that love the bus. It's strange to us, y'all niggas be scrambling, gambling. I'm restaurants with mandolins and violins. We just sitting here trying to win, trying not to sin. High off weed and lots of gin. So much smoke, need oxygen. Steadily counting them Benjamins. Nigga, you should too if you knew what this game would do to you. Been in this shit since '92. Look at all the bullshit I've been through. So-called beef with you know who. Fucked a few female stars or two. Then I'm blue like niggas blue like Mike. Shit, not to be fucked with. Motherfucker better duck quick. Cause me and my dogs love fuck shit. Fuck the luck shit, strictly aim. No aspirations to quit the game. Spit your game, talk your shit, grab your gap, call your clip, squeeze your clip, hit the right one. Pass that weed, I got the like one. All them niggas, I got to fight one. All them hoes, I got to like one. Our situation is a tight one. What you gonna do? Fight or run? Seems to me that you'll take lead. Rolling big, nigga, die slowly. I'ma tell you like a
Welcome to Down the Middle with AC Martell. This is we have a little technical difficulty. We all good. But hey, we have a great show lined up for you today, man. I have the NFL insider Richard Walker from Bring the Pain Sports coming up. I found this photo of him, so Rich, don't be mad at me. I think that's when you was doing the boss, the dude from the Sam Houston Coliseum, the Houston wrestling dude. Anyway. Man, we have a great show lined up to y'all today, man. We got a national championship tonight. The Week 18 NFL was bananas. The longest season in NFL history ended with 2 seconds ago almost being a tie and costing the Pittsburgh Steelers a slot in the playoffs, which that would have been amazing. I ain't gonna lie, I was rooting for the tie. Because I love chaos. We have Rich on the line yet? Okay, well, let's bring him in, man. Big Rich, what's up, man?
What's going on?
I can barely hear you.
Yeah, can you?
I'm talking to my producer.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What's going on, Richard, man? We brought you in because, you know, your expertise per se, you know, of the NFL, and like to get you a few thoughts on a few things, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. First thing we're talking about today, hey man,
I see the picture.
You see the picture now? hey, it is what it is, man. So today, first question, man. Winners, who are the biggest winners and the biggest losers in the 2022 season? I mean, 2021 season, in your opinion?
The biggest winners, first of all, the Tennessee Titans. When you consider the fact that they lost the guy who I think at that point should have been the MVP of the league, Derrick Henry, you lose a guy like that and you're still able to, you know, not only sustain, but you're able to get the number one overall seed. Now you're going to get them back for the playoffs. Mike Vrabel did a hell of a job coaching that team through a major storm. So
yeah, he
had major injuries. They had Julio Jones out for quite a while. They had Brown out for a while. He just, you know, kind of weathered the storm and got those guys, you know, where they needed to be. So,
I mean,
without question, you know, the Titans had, you know, did a hell of a job this year.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that one. But, I mean, Mike Vrabel, if it's not him, maybe Zach Taylor should be the coach of the year. Those two, like, man, Mike, the job that Mike Vrabel, you lost your best player for what, 3 months, and you know they had a few hiccups here and there. They even lost to the Texans. They lost to the Jets, I believe, but that was when they had Henry. But the real thing is like I really impressed on how they weathered through the storm. And to me, to get that number one seed, they get an extra week to get Henry right.
Right.
And plus, we all know the best team is usually not the best team. It's the most healthiest team that's going into the playoffs that has the better shot. And they getting Julio Jones back right at the right time. Derrick Henry's coming back. They got Jeffrey Simmons back. They have gotten healthy right in the right time. And that's actually my favorite coming out of the AFC. And I know it's an easy favorite. It's the number one pick. But Tennessee is tough, man. They tough.
Yeah.
And Ryan Tannehill, he has just enough just to make your day just a little bit bad. You know, he'll make those throws. He's not going to chop you apart. He's not going to chop you apart. But he'll make those throws when needed.
He's not a world beater, but then again, he's also not a guy who turns the ball over a lot. He makes smart decisions. He has that presence. He's a leader. He kind of reminds me of like a Matt Hasselbeck kind of guy. You know, he's not going to be first team All Pro. He's not going to put up insane stats, but yeah, Matt Hasselbeck won a lot of games because of his style and you know the way he's able to engage his team. Yeah, he went to Super Bowl.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the winners out the way. Who are your biggest losers? You can have more than one if you want.
Oh, man, it's so many. First of all, the New York Giants, man, they are a complete dumpster fire.
Okay. That's a good one.
You bring back a coach who runs a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 9 on your own 18. Yeah. Just say that out loud, see if it makes sense. Like, this is the kind of decision that this guy makes. He runs a quarterback sneak on third and 8.
Not once, but twice.
Yeah. They're salary cap hell. Looking at the over the cap, they are actually going to be $16 million over the cap.
Oh wow!
With that team,
wow,
going into the season next year, you got huge question mark in quarterback. Personally, I don't think the guy's is the answer. There's so many missing pieces on that team, and they're very far away from being competitive in that division and in that NFC. So
yeah, I
huge
actually
deal for the Giants.
I actually think that the Giants are in worse position than the Texans, if you ask me.
I agree.
Right. It's just like they're an S show, man. You know, it's like I don't know. It's like it's almost like they don't even they don't even care over there in New York.
Right.
And I don't understand how well, I mean, I guess you can't get rid of the part owner. But I guess you can't get rid of him, man. I mean, but he could fire himself as team president. He's, you know, what I'm talking about. I can't remember his name. The guy who runs the show up there in New York, Sean, whatever. Anyway, but New York does have two. They have 2 top 10 picks, coming up.
But they haven't done well.
And so does the Jets. Actually, the Jets actually have the Jets actually have. It's funny. Both New York teams have 2 top 10 picks this year.
Yeah, right.
And let's see how they mess it up.
Yeah.
I think
it's like the
biggest
Giants
loser
remind me of the Knicks, like how the Knicks were a few years ago.
Right. And then start stepping back, Nolan, and then all of a sudden now you see that they getting better. You know, me, I think my biggest losers of the season. And they finished with a winning record, but was the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh man,
that was the biggest man. That Carson Wentz came apart quicker than some boots in water, some cheap boots in water. He came apart, man. I was like, listen. 2 weeks ago, even last week, would you have told me that the Colts missed the playoffs and the Raiders and the Steelers will be in? Yeah. Would you have believed me if you'd have told me I was smoking?
Looking at the matchup, all they had to do Jacksonville just got smoked by the Patriots the week before.
Right. Yeah, that's my biggest loser, man. So let's keep it moving, man. What's your we got a big weekend coming up with the wild card games. Got 6 games and they got a Monday night game. I don't understand how that Monday night game is it seems like it would give the team that won that game a competitive disadvantage going into that following
week. They would have to turn around and play 6 days later.
And they're those athletes, man, their schedule is paramount. You know, now you got these guys playing on Monday night for a playoff game, man. I don't particularly. I mean, for the fan in me, okay. Hey, sign me up, man. Sign me up, man. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be in front of the TV. I'm gonna have my brewski, and I'm gonna watch me some good old NFL football on the Monday night in January. But the competitive side of me is like I don't think that's fair for whoever wins that game. Honestly, like
the NFL doesn't care about what's best for the players. They care about what's best for the bottom line.
The NFL would have a game on Wednesday if they could, man.
Right. They actually did earlier this year. They had Tuesday games and then had teams turn around and play again on Sunday.
Yeah.
So,
oh man, the NFL, good old NFL. But let me go with my winners and losers, and you can go. You can I'll bounce it off of you for this week, man. You might not like one of my picks, man. I'm just gonna be honest, man.
Okay.
So the first week, let's see, you got Tennessee. Tennessee got the bye. Kansas City and Pittsburgh. I got the Chiefs in a runaway, man. The Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs. Yeah.
I got the Chiefs in they might drop like 40 or 50 on them. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the hardest team to watch in the NFL. It is so. It's so difficult. But Mike Tomlin, that dude, what he did this year to even get that team in the playoffs, even though the way they got in, he's automatic first ballot Hall of Fame coach.
Oh, no question.
Automatic first ballot. Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots, the three-peat. I got, Man, Mac Jones, rookie quarterback, going back up to Buffalo. Last time they went up there, he only threw the ball 3 times. I think some of his swag got taken away from him in the last few games. You know how them rookies, they get to a certain point of the season and, things start to get a little harder for them because they ain't played that many games. So I'm taking the Bills in this one, actually.
I'm definitely going with the Bills in that one. Yeah, and then you got one of the toughest stadiums to play with in the NFL is
Western New York, man. If you ever been to Western New York, man, that's what I call face hurting win.
Oh yeah,
it can literally crack your face open. Like it's like seriously, man. It should be against the law to play outside up there, man. But that's them. They like it. I love it. And the last one for the AFC is the Cincinnati Bengals and the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders. Did I tell you what my biggest winner was? Oh, my biggest winner was the Raiders because of everything that they went through. And David Carr, I know he's not going to be the MVP, but, man, he should get like at least a couple of votes in there somewhere. Because, right. For what he has done, you lost your coach in the middle of the season for him saying a homophobic slur, and then you go and make the playoffs with your intern coach. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of the NFL. I don't think an intern coach has ever taken a team to the playoffs. I don't think that's ever happened. I may be wrong.
Were like I want to say they were like 3-7 or something like that.
Something like
that. And for them to come back from that,
yeah.
For them to come back,
because they won their last in a row. Yeah, they won their last like 4 or 5 games. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
And I'm gonna breeze through these ones in the NFC. Now, get your thoughts. Tampa Bay versus Philly, man. Man, I don't give Philly a shot in you know what to even pull that game out, man. The Philadelphia Eagles, like I picked them to win like 3 games this year at the beginning of the season. I'm gonna be honest. So I don't know how I guess they did the same thing the Cowboys did. They feasted off a bad division, If they could have feasted off themselves, they would have. San Francisco and your boys, man. I know. The Rams really screwed y'all by making y'all go into the 3rd seed. If that makes sense.
You think so?
Yeah, man. I don't think anybody want to play the 49ers right now, man. And Jimmy G, man, he would throw 4 or 5 interceptions in one game, and then he'll be the hero the next game. So you never know, man. But they got some weapons, man. I'm actually taking the San Francisco 49ers to win that game. Now, if Dallas gets out that game, man, they got a really good chance of getting to the NFC Championship for sure. But San Francisco is rough, man. They physical, they tough, man, and they don't turn the ball over. They do not turn the ball over, man. Great
run team, and then one of the Cowboys' weaknesses on their defense is actually their run support. So that they do, from a matchup perspective, create a problem. But I would think that the game plan would be to focus on shutting down the run and put the ball in.
Yeah, I'm torn when it comes to the Cowboys. You know me, I like to give y'all the Cowboys fans a tough time. But I actually am a huge Dak Prescott fan, man, and I want all the success in the world for him. So I'm kind of torn, but, I did have to pick one or the other. So ain't no ties in the playoffs.
No.
And the Rams at Arizona, man, I want to pull for the Rams so bad, man. But it's like, how you got all that talent on defense, man, and lose a 17-point lead at home, man? I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying, like, everybody want to blame Matthew Stafford for that pick at the end of the game, but it shouldn't even came to that point. You had a 17-point lead on the road, at home, versus the team that looked like they were dead in the water.
Right.
And then the defense just gave up the coup de grace, man. Especially that last drive. I was like, oh, Lord, man. I was like, so they going to just let Jimmy G just chop y'all up for 83 and a touch? A walk-off touch at that? Come on, man. Yeah, man.
And then Matt Stafford has been so inconsistent. Like, that's a problem for them. And then the Cardinals are going to get a couple of extra people back, one of them being J.J. Watt.
Yeah, that's why I'm picking the Cardinals. That's why I'm actually picking the Cardinals to win that game. That's why I say if y'all can get past that first round, y'all going to have probably a rematch with the Cardinals, if that's about right. Let's say 3, 6.
It would be...
Oh, no, the Cardinals would be...
the Cardinals would be the lowest remaining seed, I believe. Yeah.
Right, yeah. If y'all win that game, the Cardinals would be the lowest remaining seed, so they would have to play Green Bay, actually. That means y'all get the win out of Tampa Bay and Philly. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
I actually like the matchup with Tampa, though. You recall
the first game of the season. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
they were not clicking on all cylinders at that point, but they still, went blow for blow with the Bucks, and the Bucks were healthy at that time. So I'm okay with the matchup with the Bucks.
Okay. So you basically saying the Cowboys gonna lose? Okay, I got you. All right, let's move on, man. 8 coaches got fired this morning before 12. This was like the worst Black Monday ever in I don't know what, but it was a travesty, man, what Miami did to Brian Flores, though.
Brian Flores, yeah.
But I'm looking at it like this: maybe they did him a favor. Maybe they did him a favor and let him get the HEL out of Miami, and I think he probably should be the number one candidate for that Minnesota job, honestly. But who in your opinion is the best coaches available, and what is the best job available in this coming up? I mean, this is an opening job in NFL.
Well, I think the best position that's open right now is Miami. You have a lot of young talent on that team, and they are in great salary cap position. Matter of fact, they have the most cap space out of everyone going into the offseason. They got about $60 million to play with.
Ooh.
You got some draft picks. You got a lot to work with there. Coach Flores was building something, and unfortunately, what happens to us sometimes, we always want to be in the bridge coach, and then someone else comes behind and takes advantage of it. So like John Gruden. Right, it's Gruden and Dundee. So that Miami job, I think, is really attractive. If I were a coach, that's the place I would be looking at. As far as the candidates, Leslie Frazier is one that comes to mind. I know that there's reached out to Dan Quinn. A couple of teams have reached out to him. I think a lot of teams are going with more experienced coaches because these first-time coaches just haven't quite panned out. So you're going to see a lot of the experienced coaches come off the market first. One name that comes up as far as a rookie coach is the offensive Kellen Moore. He's the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys. So he's interviewed with the Jaguars. And
I think Jerome Mayo probably is going to get some burn this offseason as well from
the boy Bill O'Brien has come up. So, he'll be back in the NFL next year in some capacity, either as a coordinator or a coach.
I hope and pray that he is that the Jacksonville Jaguars pick him up and sign him. I mean, that you talking about storylines for. I mean, as a member of the media, I would love that. But here's the problem:
Jacksonville versus Houston would actually be interesting every time.
But here's the problem: Bill O'Brien wasn't a bad coach. He was just a terrible GM.
Right.
He was a terrible GM. So
he was horrible as a GM, yeah.
And if you can look past his GM, you can, I mean, when he came into Texas, when he came into Houston, he had a ready-made team already. All he needed was a quarterback. And then he got his quarterback, and then he decided he wanted to, start pulling puppet strings and messing with personnel and messing with front office personnel and bringing in Jack Easter Bunny and, and all that, that was his demise here. It wasn't for his coaching per se. It wasn't just his coaching because he did have some time management issues, big time. So who you picking for the Super Bowl, man?
If I were to go right now, just based on everything, I would, out of the AFC, I would have the Titans. Kind of a toss-up, even though they're the number one seed. Green Bay, of course, is a strong candidate, but I also think that somehow, some way, you always got to keep your eye on good old Tom Brady there with the Bucks. So
number 12, man. Good Lord,
12.
If he win another Super Bowl, man, somebody need to break his legs, man. Seriously, man. Gee whiz, man. We can't. And
he had the most passing yards of his career this year. At 44. That's insane.
That's insane. And all the stuff they can deal with, Antonio Brown, and he's had injuries around, and I think Leonard Fournette's still out. So, man,
crazy. The guy's not human. He's a vampire or something.
Who's that? Somebody said Dolphins fired the head coach, but they kept Judge. Okay.
Yeah, Mike Judge in New York. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
He
man.
He should have been allowed to take a shower yesterday.
Yeah, man. Then he had the nerve to like get out there and like try to chastise the media, like it's the media fault that you can't coach.
Right.
Oh yeah, Cleveland. Who was that? I can't see the names. Oh, Leroy. Yeah. Said, yeah, Leroy. Cleveland was a good one. That's a good for. I actually picked Cleveland to get to the AFC champion. I'm reading some of the comments that's coming in. I actually picked Cleveland to make it to the AFC championship this year. So
yeah, Baker Mayfield was the one that was an inhibitor for them. They just as people call him, sober Johnny Manziel. But
yeah, buddy,
he just didn't really show that he had that it factor in him. Like he's a solid quarterback, but that's about all you're gonna get.
He's a good backup for Case,
Right.
For third ward Case,
man.
Damien
Hippel like that, but yeah.
Anyway, man, I'm gonna let you go, man. I would like to do this every week if you got the time, man. We'll bring you in as he's not just the NFL insider. He's the NBA insider, the MLB insider, MLS insider. The man don't sleep. I don't think he sleeps. I think he's an android. I'm gonna have to check him next time I see him. Make sure he don't have a battery pack on the back of him or something, man. It's good talking to you, my man. We'll catch up next week. All right.
Likewise, sounds great.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All righty.
That was Richard Walker from Bring the Pain Sports, man. That dude's like he's one of the people that that he kind of like took me under his wing when I tried to start getting into like sports broadcasting and stuff. And he just kind of like showed me the ropes and and he was telling me, because I was trying to get in the radio back then, and he was like, man, you need to get into this like podcast game and do your own thing, and then you don't have the restrictions that radio put on you. Anyway, just a quick little story, man. So I owe that guy a lot, man. Wendell, satellite. Anyway, yeah, man. Cincinnati. Did I pick them? Did I pick that game? I didn't even pick that game, did I? Yes, I think Cincinnati should win that game. I'm hoping Cincinnati don't win that game, man. Tennessee is old school, tough, physical team, relies on run. Yeah. Run the setup, man. They old school. They old school with new school weapons on the outside. If that makes sense. Huh? Oh, Anthony Price. Oh, okay. I see it at the bottom now. My computer was kind of covering it up. Wendell Satterwhite, they lost to the Jags. Yeah, they lost to the Jags, man. Yeah, the Colts lost to the Jags, bro. I'll tell you, man, like that was the biggest surprise of Week 18 for me was that, man. But let's get into let's get more into the show. Since we're gonna wrap this NFL up right now, but I have my top 10 plays of the year coming up. But let's look at the playoff bracket right before we let's check that playoff bracket up. So these are the matchups next week, and these are what I picked: the Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, Bucks, 49ers, and Cardinals to all win next week. And y'all gotta wait till next week to get my predictions for the second round. So that's how we do it. If you wanna know my predictions, you gotta come back, you gotta sign in, you gotta hit the like button, you gotta subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, man. I'm having a good time today, man. This is a really good show. So anyway, let's look at my personal top 10. Anybody, if you got problems, I don't have to answer to you because this is my top 10. That's why it's my top 10. Let's go. Let's roll them. Jaguars. Can't hear the audio. Is the audio on there? This was a field goal attempt at the end of the half by Arizona, and I think his name Askew, if I'm not mistaken. That kid, man, I think he had like 3 kickoff returns this year for touchdowns. I'm not Agnew, that's his name, Agnew. He came out of like one of those small schools, like Justin Tucker, breaking the NFL record. Oh, first we got this one.
Push that ball back inside to the interior where all your help is.
To me, this is the catch of the year, man. My goodness. My goodness gracious. I think he hurt right now too, man. Like they whole receiving core like got hurt at one point. Look at that. That is a work part, man. Go to the next one.
Sherry, thank you and
Yeah, there go that man again, mama. There you go. Ooh. You're not supposed to be that big and be able to outrun a DB like he just did this dude. That's not human, man. You're not the dude. Let me give y'all a little perspective about how big Derrick Henry is. The dude is like the size of Ray Lewis in his prime. He's a big dude, man. He's like the size of a what's that middle linebacker from Chicago back in the day? Urlacher. He's like the size of he's like an Urlacher that can run the ball, and he's faster than your DBs. Next one we got JJ not gonna be ready. You said why not? He came back. He had a big sack that time. Remember, he the one that sealed the game. Yeah, he finished that game. Yeah, he did. He got the game clinching sack right before. This the same dude from the last from the other one. That's Agnew again. He got two of my top 10. Oopsie. Whoopsie. I don't care what nobody say. That's the best play. The best play in all of sports is a kickoff return for a touchdown. You can't argue me with that. That's the best play in all of sports because it's everything right has to happen for that. Everything right has to happen. It's not just a couple of things. This is pretty impressive too.
Coming out of there with the football.
I went through a lot of plays to pick these plays, man. I really did. I had to go through all the shows from all year. I went through a lot to go, but that was pretty impressive right there, man.
High snap again. End zone and picked off. Intercepted by Rasul Douglas.
That possibly is why Green Bay is the number 1 seed. That game right there. Arizona was 7-0 at that point. And they only ended up with 11 wins. Like, for real. They almost crashed and burned, like, all the way. They had injuries, and, this is a good one, too.
Got the bunch up top. Those guys are going to be your Hail Mary.
Skip one.
7 defensive backs for Arizona. Pressure coming.
Boy, Baker.
Able to get away, and now he'll uncork it for the end zone. Ball in the air, and it's caught! It's caught! Donovan Peoples-Jones! Baker's press.
I tell you what, man, the Cardinals are on the wrong end of a lot of these highlights, man. for me to be picking them to win this playoff game, they show on the wrong end of a lot of these highlights, man.
Ryan is the running back. Fake it to him.
Probably the only bad throw that Joe Burrow had in the whole season was this one right here.
A full 100 yards to glory. Wow, what a great call by you right there, Tim. That was amazing. What an interception. And guess what?
And finally, Justin Tucks breaks the all-time kicking record by kicking a 66-yarder that bounced on the crossbar and went in. 66 yards, that probably will never be broken. I can't see a kicker kicking past 66 yards, man, and without checking them for steroids or something, man. Anyway, that's my top 10 from the 2021 season, man. We had to close that out, close the regular season out with a Week 18. Let's keep it moving, man. Like that was, I know that was a long segment, and we went a little over. That's how it is sometimes when you have phone calls. When you have calling guests, or you go a little over. Tonight we talking about what's going on tonight. The national championship is going on tonight. These two cats, and I thought about this long and hard, man. I wanna pick Georgia. I want to pick Georgia so bad. Georgia has probably, to me, the better overall team, but Alabama has Bryce Young. And Stetson Bennett, he is what it is. He sounds like what he is. You know, a guy named Stetson Bennett, man. You know, he got two he got two last names, man. Like, what's going on, man? He is just he's not one of those quarterbacks that can just wow you and take over a game. Bryce Young, he could take over a game, man. So I'm picking Alabama. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm picking Alabama to win this game tonight, man. It just don't. It just man, Nick Saban, man. He's the Belichick of college, man. He's the Saban of college, man. Until he retires, man, it's hard for me to pick against Alabama. Just like when Brady and Belichick was together, I only picked against Brady like one time, and that was when the second time they played the Giants. That's the only time I ever picked against Brady. Every other time I picked with him. So tonight's national champion, going with Alabama to win. I'm hoping Georgia pulls it off because I'm tired of seeing Alabama win. I'm gonna be honest. So next segment is AC right, AC wrong. AC right, AC wrong. Even though right is on the left side and the left, whatever. Right is on the left side and wrong is on the right side. So, okay. AC right. Well, I was right this year. I was right about the Tennessee Titans. Everybody said they weren't going to make the playoffs. I said they was going to probably end up being the number 1 seed. I was right about that. Well, I was wrong. Tennessee Titans. I mean, I was wrong. I was right and wrong about Tennessee Titans. No, I was wrong about the Cleveland Browns. I was dead wrong about the Cleveland Browns. I thought they was gonna be with that roster. I just figured they would be automatically AFC championships. Where I was right. I was right about the Colts. I was right about not trusting my gut, saying I just couldn't trust Carson Wentz. And what happened? Carson Wentz reared his ugly head yesterday. His last 2 games, I think he combined for like 4 or 5 turnovers. You know, just bad, man. Well, I was wrong. I thought Mobley coming out of USC went to Cleveland. I thought he wasn't gonna be as good as he is. I thought he had a high ceiling, but I didn't think he would. It was a fun ride, man. And where I was really wrong, right. I was really right this year was the U of H Cougars, man. They got something going on over there, man. And I really like the fact that Dana Holgerson, he's like one of those coaches that he's not leaving. If he's successful, he's not going to leave because he's well into his career. He's gone. He's gone. You know, he used to be at West Virginia at one point, if I'm not mistaken. So I really like where the program is going. We're joining the Big 12, so we're going to be in a Power 5 conference, but we do have to face Cincinnati, which was where I was wrong this year. I thought Cincinnati would be able to hang with Alabama. I really did. I really thought Cincinnati, and they kind of did for a little bit. You know, a few plays here and there, the ball bounced their way. They would they probably would have got into that. I mean, they would have at least made it a better game. So that wraps up my right and wrong segment. While I was right, while I was wrong. I like to be right most of the time, but sometimes I'll be wrong. So I will admit it. That's what keeps my integrity. That's why when y'all come and listen to me, y'all know I'm telling the truth. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to the NBA right now. What we got? Who came back from a 2-year wait a minute, let me get this right. 921 days and 177 games. Somebody in here, I'm not gonna say no names. Somebody in here don't think, you know, they not impressed with him coming back off of 2 major injuries, lower extremities, and coming in and doing stuff like this. Man, it is some cheese. It is some cheese in here, man. It's cheesy up here, man. It's cheesy up here. Where my wine at, man? Let me get somebody some wine, man. Let's play this highlight, man. Hey, man, that's one of the Splash Brothers, man. The Splash Brothers. Brady is different in January, man. I tell you that, Wendell. Yeah, you right about that. He turned into an android, man, and started.
Switch. He went to reach. And Klay
Oh, yeah, that's Klay Thompson.
I think he's healthy. Dunked on the whole city of Cleveland just now. To put Lamar Stevens and
And he ain't even one of them dudes that be dunking on people like that, man.
He's all the way back.
Hey, man, you play to win the game, man.
Play for three. Here we go. Uh-oh. This feels familiar, doesn't it? He's letting everybody know.
Well, feeling himself, man. Hey, man,
Shots to begin the
I'm always been a sucker for redemption stories, man. Always been a sucker for redemption stories, man. What you mean, man? The dude tore his MCL, then tore his Achilles, man. And he been out the game for 2 years. And you come back and play at a high level, man. That's a comeback, man. Nah. Nah, man. Okay, comeback then. Comeback story. Okay, comeback story. I guess my producer over here putting people on drugs and stuff, man. Like, man, hey, man, but he got hurt in the finals, man. He been out the game for 2 years, man. Like, you know, then he tears his Achilles while rehabbing his knee. So, I mean, that, man, some people will just be like, you know what? Maybe basketball, maybe I'm done with basketball. Maybe I'm done, you know. That's the last one from him? Yeah. Woo. I want to just talk about something real quick while we talking about the NBA. The Rockets, man. What do you really think about? You ain't hooked up. The Rockets. See, last week we came in here, it was right after the Woods and the KPJ fiasco. Then the very next night, Kevin Porter hit a game winner versus who was they playing? Washington. They was playing Washington. Washington has had 3 game winners against them in the last like 6 games or something like that. But like the Rockets, to me, I see growth in Jalen Green now. I see him going to the basket with a purpose and actually drawing fouls, and the officials are starting to actually recognize his game to where they're calling calls for him. He's not taking as many shots. He's sharing the ball a little bit more efficient. I think what's his name is out there? Manute Bol's son. I think he got cut. I would love if the Rockets would try to like kick the tires on that, man. No, not even like a 2-year prove it deal. No. And then why? Because then they won't draft a big man.
Just a big old. He gets tall.
I mean, Sean Bradley made a career out of that.
And you got to be able to run in that court.
He
Sean
can't
Bradley
run.
made no career. He made a.
What about Taco Falls?
Where is he at right now?
I don't know.
See?
No, he played though. I think he played for Utah. Actually, I think I may be wrong on that. Taco Falls. Let me see. Anyway, I would like for the Rockets to in this offseason really address their interior defense. And to me, Woods should not be a part of that conversation. Like Woods needs to get traded. I'm done with Woods, man. Like I'm done with him, man. He too iffy, man. He too back and forth. He too up and down. He not consistent. And man, will you please stop shooting all them doggone threes, man? Why he shoot so many threes? Like, he be just pulling up, though. It ain't like he getting the flow in the offense. He just happened to be out there, shot clock running down. And then you just like, okay, I'm going to shoot this three. Nah, he be pulling up on fast breaks. Like, what you doing, bro? Like, take your big self inside. What are you doing? Ugh. But I like the direction the Rockets are going. And I think they should give Silas at least one more year to really see if we can see I need to see a leap from this year to next year. I need to see fast improvements. Like I need them to actually be better significantly where I can actually, with my eye test is I'm like, okay, I see the difference in this team from previous years. I don't know what they're gonna do with Eric Gordon. Is he still on the contract next year? I don't know about this. I don't know, man. Keeping him on in the building for next year, maybe, man. But like, you still got to pay John Walls and stuff, man. Anyway, man, let's keep it moving, man. Let's go to the plays of the week. I only really got one, and it's Ja Morant. This guy is just insanely. This could possibly be the block of the year.
Avery Bradley with the deflection against Bang.
Now, dude hit his head on the backboard, bro.
That you're going to ever see. Yeah, Bane's the initial defender. And he grabs it with 2 hands. It almost grabbed him off the glass.
Now, his hand was at the top of the box, bro.
I mean, unreal is right. This guy, just look where he is. He catches it at the top of the square, the box on the backward. Look at his hands up there. He almost hit his
What Westbrook doing over there, though? What he doing? What is Westbrook doing, man? He tripping, man. Oh, man. Yeah, I like, man. Ja Morant, man. I remember him in Murray State, bro. And, I mean, he shouldn't be no surprise that he's this good, man. He's the number 2 pick in the draft, man. So, it shouldn't be surprised that what I like about him is that he's not a knockdown three-point shooter. And his game is so, man, it's so unique, man. He has a very unique game, man. Anyway, post of the week, man, from post. I want to do a next week. We're gonna start a segment called S&M. This is gonna be social media minute. So that's what's gonna be called S&M. So we're gonna work on that next week. But anyway, this will be part of it. The CDC says if we all do the hokey pokey, we can turn this thing around. I love it. And so they got this 10-year challenge thing going on, man. And let me give you a little backstory. Back in the day, everybody used to say I used to look like Carlton from Fresh Prince. I don't know where they see that at. So I put this up there. That's my 10-year challenge, y'all. Y'all can, you know what? You know what? And I don't really have any kick rocks today, man. So, because, it's such a beautiful day. Have to, give shout-outs to everybody who's supporting us, man, and really, really thank you guys, man, and really appreciate the support that y'all give this show, man. Yeah, man. I want y'all to share it, like it. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your kinfolk, tell your baby mamas, tell your baby daddies to tune in to the hottest podcast this side of the Mississippi. Down the middle with AC Martell. We'll see y'all next week, man. I'll let you boy. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Down the Middle with AC Martell. For more original sports content, remember, go like and subscribe our Facebook and YouTube pages, okay? And remember, I am not a broadcaster. I am not a journalist. I'm just a fan with a mic.